Wildflower friends, Nicole from Flower Hill Farm, and I am coming to you today to talk about this Mantis that I picked up last year. I got this model because I wanted a 9-inch width, and I got that because I wanted to be able to go through my rows very easily, till up walkways if I had to. I wanted to be able to reach places where I didn't have to go in and use a hoe in small places. So I'm using this today. Believe it or not, this grassy patch that you see behind me was just tilled up with a tractor less than a month ago, and this is the weed pressure that I have. It's mostly grass, and then I have a ton of this, I think it's called mustard. Like, it's just a mustard green, mustard lettuce, like mustard chard, and it's just rampant. I got that from, I believe it was a load of compost that I got a couple of years ago, and it's just going crazy in my garden. Now, this is my vegetable garden and my flower garden. I have given up some space of my vegetables. Actually, I didn't really give up space. I expanded my garden size in order to get the 750 lilies and the 2,000 gladiolas. And then I have 4 rows right here of some snapdragons and lizzies and some feverfew, dianthus, calendula, dill, basil. Okay, so that's what I have over on this side of the garden. I have not planted this up yet. I'm going to till this up with my Mantis, just show you how easy it is to use. Super easy to use. So all you have to do is push the choke halfway down and just give it a little pull like that. Very easy to do. And then push the choke all the way down to run it. I don't know if you could hear me when it was on, but I'm gonna go ahead, turn it on, do a couple rows just to show you how smooth it is and how little it's shaking me all over the place, because I have had tillers in the past that were a little bit bigger that literally my arms couldn't move them the next day because they were vibrating so much. This, I like to go backwards with it. I don't know if that's the way you're supposed to go. I just feel like it goes deeper and I can get a better till when I go backwards with it. I also can go forwards with it, and that's how I do the rows in between, like my beets and my onions and my sweet pea rows over there. That's how I till and weed, is once a week I'll go through and just run this down the lane and it's done. So I'm gonna go ahead and do a couple rows for you now. It's got a safety right here. You have to hold the button and press the gas. I'm not gonna till that milkweed because I have monarch butterfly friends. It's also very light. Oh my gosh, it's probably like, it's not that light, but it's light. It's probably, I would say, I'm not even gonna guess. All right, I'm gonna guess 20 pounds. I need water. I always need water. I'm obsessed with seltzer waters. So, super easy to use, super lightweight, super portable. The only thing I don't like about it is that it doesn't have a kickstand. There are some models with a kickstand. So when I set it down, it sets down. It does not have a kickstand. I think you might be able to purchase kickstands you can attach onto them, but some models do come with this. What did I pay? I feel like it was $369. That's what I feel like it was. I feel like it was a great investment for me and for someone who can't, say, get a tractor or a tractor tiller or have someone, pay someone to come and till your property. This is a convenient option. It's quick, it's portable. I like it. Like I said, I mean, it's really not that heavy. My left arm's pretty weak. So, and I have shoulder issues. So, recent shoulder issues, no idea. I'm gonna blame Beachbody for that one. Specifically, I'm blaming Sean T. Anyway, he made me do a lot of planks and it hurt my shoulder. So that's what I feel like on the Mantis, is just I feel like it's really good. So my final thoughts on the Mantis were that it was a good purchase for me on my small farm. This 20 acres, small. It was a good purchase for me. And I can go in between my rows, and I can go in between all of my rows. Did I say I could go in between my rows? I could go in between my rows. I leave the milkweed here because I love monarch butterflies, and my kids and I always hatch some every year. So when I see milkweed, I don't consider it a weed, I let it grow. So I'm gonna finish this up, but I also wanted to give you guys an update on the wildflower field, and let me turn the camera around so you can see that. Do you see that patch, that giant patch of earth that's all tilled up over there? That's the wildflower field. Let me get you closer. This is new. Right there, this is the sweet pea. It was budding up, but this color is new. I am so excited. This must be the mix because it doesn't look like old times, which was one of the other varieties that I purchased. Let me see if there are any other buds coloring up. Nothing else coloring up yet. A lot of these buds, but that maroon burgundy is the only one coloring up. I'm so excited. Oh, something's nibbling on those. Look at the noodle beans all coming up. Let me zoom out. I just planted these about a week ago, and they're already all coming up. This is my trellis. And on the other side, I have melons coming up too. I'm very excited to see progress there. It's hard to differentiate them between the grass, but I gotta come in here and weed tomorrow. Here you see a flower farming fail. These are my emerald tassels. Not only did I forget they were out here, I have them blooming at just 3 inches tall. Whoops. We're getting closer. We're getting close. It looks like I can just reach out and touch it, but it's still really far away. This is Wildflower Field. And all I see are wildflower seedlings all over the place. It's not all I see. There are some weeds, but they're everywhere. Give this place 4 or 5 weeks and it's going to be absolutely covered in wildflowers. So I just watched that clip back and I realized that my camera was autofocusing when I was walking through the field, so no big deal. You guys get the idea. The thing is enormous. I have a video all about the wildflower field. I can link that below, but just so you guys know, I got that seed from Eden Brothers. I bought a 10-pound bag of bursts of bloom, and that's a mix of annuals and perennials. And the only thing that I'm really concerned about with the deer are the cosmos, but I did a whole field of cosmos last year and the deer didn't bother them at all. So I am very excited about this. This is going to be a by appointment only photography location. I already have a few people signed up, but I wanted it back in the middle of nowhere behind my property because I didn't want it to be seen from the road, because I've talked about this before. I don't want people pulling in my driveway and thinking that it's just public property, that it's like a park or something. Black fly in my eye, black fly in my eye. Oh my gosh, black flies are coming out. So that's the reason. Well, not only is that the reason, but look at it. Like, this hill is just majestic. Now, if you didn't watch my previous video on this, there's a big rock on the top of this hill under the tree right there. And like I said, I don't know if you're new, I grew up on this property, and that's where I spent my childhood, was sitting there on that rock reading books and watching. I can see my house from here. It's a good 500 yards away, but I can see my house from here. My parents knew where I was. That's actually where I saw a bear when I was little. I came up that hill right there and I saw a bear cub, and I ran for my life because I was always taught if you see a bear cub, the mama's close by. So I live in the Adirondacks. We're in upstate New York. There are bears here, and that's normal. So, but that was the first time I had ever seen one with my eyes, other than up, I don't know if you guys are familiar with the Old Forge, had like a place where you could go and watch the bears. It was like a dump. So I had seen one there, but that, I don't consider that wild. This was wild, and we actually saw one, not last summer, but the summer before, we saw one in the backyard too. So they're becoming more normal around here. Anyway, this is not about bears. This is about the wildflower field and great germination everywhere I look. The only thing I think I see coming up is like vetch. I think I'm seeing vetch coming up, and vetch is not in the wildflower mix, so we'll see. Vetch is pretty, but it's also invasive. So I was trialing a smaller patch of wildflowers that I did last year. I was trialing it to see if it would reseed and come back as beautiful as it did the year before. So far, I'm not impressed. So things definitely reseeded, but the weeds have taken over more than I had anticipated. I do have some blooms in there right now. I'll show you, I have some orange blooms coming up right now in that area, and I can see where a ton of candy tuft and bachelor buttons and cosmos all seeded themselves, and they're coming up, but they are just so crowded out with the grass. I'll show you, I didn't touch it. This is just how it grew back. So I know for a fact that next year, I am not gonna let this reseed itself and just bank on that, because I know what it looks like over there, that I'm gonna need to come in here, till it up, and put more seed down. Hopefully some of those perennials like lupine, I call them lupines because I think I've said this before, my grandfather makes lupini beans, so I call them lupinis, you know, lupines, those flowers, those beautiful ones. It's just a bug on my camera. So hopefully some of the perennials will come through, but I'm not banking on it. So I'm gonna till it up, reseed it, and make sure that I have more blooms next year than just banking on it. So, no. I don't know if you could hear the cows. Both neighbors on both sides of me have cows, and it's like baby cow season, and they keep having babies, and I think one's in labor right now. I've been hearing it all day. It's getting buggy out, so I'm gonna wrap this up. Anyway, so that's just a quick overview of the Mantis that I've been using now for over a year. It's been great. It's really handy when I don't want to get the tractor out, or now that we have that whole garden fenced in, it's kind of a chore to get the tractor and the tiller in there and not damage any of my plants to get to where I need to till. And a lot of times it's just a small section that I just need to, that's getting like extra weedy, that I just need to run the tiller through just for a few minutes. So the Mantis is definitely something that I found to be helpful for me. Also, like those magical hoes, they're magical. The weed foe, it's the best hoe. Hoeing ain't easy, tell you right now, but you do it on a regular basis and it is easier. If you wait 3 weeks, you're gonna have a hell of a time getting through those weeds, let me tell you right now. Okay, so that was the Mantis. This is the update on the Wildflower Field, and I'm so excited to bring you more updates as the season goes on, and hopefully by mid to late July, we have bursts of blooms like the package says. Thank you so much for watching this video, and we'll see you in the next one. Hi. It's our 14th anniversary today. Don't you hit me with the tiller. He's putting it away for me because he's cute.